This is Justin AMZN on Tuesday, July 20th, 2021. So I'm zoomed out here looking at both Monday and Tuesday. I think it's easier to see what happened today in the context of both days. So let me just zoom in on the 5-minute here. Well, actually, so we had the hammer yesterday, gapped up into kind of a high wave candle today. And let's break it down a little bit. So yesterday being a bullish candle, we gapped up and came back down. So that's what happens on bullish retest gaps. So we gapped up here, closed here, gapped up here, and then faded. But then basically we just put in an S curve and then another S curve and then maybe another one. I don't know. We're going to do that again. Taking a look at the options. So that's basically what you need to know on how the day worked out. Going over to the options, actually, let me just zoom out because it'll be easier for me to point this out. When we had this pullback on the 5-minute here, all we were really doing was retesting the lows from the previous day, retesting all these kind of low levels. That's really all we got into. I mean, we didn't really even quite get up this high or this high. It seems like we stayed a little bit lower. So we retested into the lows from below. On the call, we came down to this level, which was really close to the previous day's low, but we did that from above, obviously. And then we just tore out of there. We just, really bounced nicely out of there. We had been making some higher lows. Each of these is just getting a little bit higher. Obviously took that out first thing, in the day. And then again, we were just making much steeper higher lows until then we kind of came back down a little bit, put in a double bottom. You can see the double bottom we put in over here that took out the 21. This looked like it could go lower. The volume was there, looked like it could go lower, but it turned out to be one of these things where it put in like a double top yesterday into the 21 and today put in a double bottom into the 21. So it just kind of worked out a little bit opposite of how it played out yesterday. We barely at all got oversold. This was really the closest we got, that was kind of consistently down there. Didn't quite show up with the kind of double bottom and kind of retest sort of shape that I like. But what's really interesting is just kind of recapping this, prepping for this video. The call did. So this is the 3650 call expiring this Friday, and this is pretty much the shape. So double bottom and then like a retest and then higher. And so like you would be buying here. So buying here means buying off of this candle. The close on this candle was 920. So you can be setting up an order to buy at 920, 925, $9, something like that. If you set it for $9, I don't know if it would have filled. The low on this candle was 908. But setting it up, even if you did like 925 and a stop a dollar lower at 825, you should be in on this candle. It'll give you a little bit of time to fill in the first maybe 30 seconds to a minute, maybe. Even if you had done a little bit higher, 950 by 850, something like that, like it still worked. And that went on to definitely have a 3R gain. But that was really the best, this was the best buying place, really the best setup with the RSI that I've been looking for. Didn't get that same shape here. Didn't quite look the same as a double bottom like that. And then on the put, this is the 3450 put. We didn't even get overbought at all today. The closest we got was this little tick up here. This is where the volume came in, looked like the 5-minute was going to kind of roll down. It did, push down here, and that was the high volume, and that was it. That was like the exhaustion volume of this move. That was it, because we just went, well, technically we went a little bit lower on this candle, but we recovered, and we did a double bottom. Literally, like this is the shape of a double bottom. I know I zoomed way in on that, but this is the shape, right? Like this. And you kind of retest to the neckline, right? You see that? So here's the double bottom, retest the neckline, right? And the 21 exponential worked as that neckline. It was a moving neckline, but still came right back up to here. That's the level. And then, we ran up through it, and then we came right back down and tagged it again and bounced. So it was a great bullish setup. And it was just a matter of getting into the right option. I think this was the right option to do it with. Unfortunately, because of earnings next week, I believe it's next Thursday after close. That is the 30th, or no, the 29th. So the options expiring the 30th are just crazy expensive, and they just don't trade really well this week. So looking at like the 3,900, this is still expensive. Like, and there's just tick candles, which I'm not crazy about tick candles. Could you have been buying this? Yeah, but you're only going to scalp like an R or something. You don't have the same move. You're way out of the money. Even like the 4,000, which is a nice round number. Oops. What did I do? Oh, I took out the C. There we go. So this one was okay. But still, it just didn't move that great. Maybe an R, maybe an R and a half, something like that. This had a little better shape, kind of shaped up a little bit more like the double bottom here with a dip back down. So that would have been buying here. That would have been buying probably like 7. And you're getting out when it gets back up towards a resistance, which it didn't. So maybe you're just getting out at 8. So that's literally scalping for an R, which is still a good, I mean, that's still a good trade. Get out for an R. So yeah, kind of recapping between yesterday and today, we're going higher. We made a higher high and a higher low from yesterday, and we're right back, above the 21. This is a great place to bounce. If we can continue to bounce, okay, we can continue to run. The bearish perspective is this could be a little bit of a flag right here. We closed this bearish retest gap with today's candle. Now we could go lower, and if we stay below the 21, if we stay below the 5, then the 5 may come down a little bit more and could help us push below the 21 again and roll back down. If more selling comes into the market, that may happen. But right now, I mean, this is a high wave indecisive candle, lower volume, but there was a lot of strength coming in. There was a lot of buying coming in, some big bullish candles, and we took out the open. We took out the big bearish candles at the open here, and we couldn't sustain a bearish sell-off right here. We only could do 10 minutes of selling in a row right here. There's 20 from this high, only 10 right here where the volume came in. So this could just be a day where bears were just getting out. Bears were buying to close their positions. It's been running down 6 bearish days in a row, gaps down. Okay, while it's down a little bit, bears are getting out. They're buying it back up, just to get out of their positions. That could be what's going on too. So that's kind of both perspectives, but it's a high wave candle, so we really got to wait and see. Yeah, there's definitely some perspective here with how you could have played something bullish. Maybe not this candle or this option, the one I had before, was that 36.50 and 34.50 for this week that I was looking at. And it's just going to get a little bit harder this week to really find the right option with earnings next week. So I'll see what I can do, and I hope this helps. This is just AMZN. Thanks.